Hi girls and boys, it's a new week and that means it's a new letter and that means it's a new creative writing book. So our letter of the week is D. It makes a D sound and I thought it would be fun to do a picture of our dads because dad begins with D and it also ends with D. D-A-D spells dad. Dad. So before we practice our D's, let me show you something. I drew a picture of my dad. This is the job that my dad had when he was working. He doesn't work anymore. He's retired. He's a grandpa now, so he's not working. This is the job that he did. Have a good look at that picture that I drew, and I want you to see if you can figure out what the job is, because the job begins with D. So have a think and I'll tell you at the end. Let's practice our D's. Uppercase D. Uppercase D, we know this already, don't we? Because we've done it already. We've learnt uppercase D already. Big line down, jump to the top, and a big curve right down to the bottom. An uppercase D. Make sure it joins. Lowercase d starts with a little curve and it has a big line in it as well. This is a lowercase d. We start with a little curve. We start actually making a magic C. So we start with a magic C and then we helicopter up, touch that C, top of the C, helicopter up, and we helicopter down. There's a lowercase d. Let me do it again. We start with a magic C and we helicopter up, touching the top of the C, and then we helicopter back down again. There's a lowercase d. Now it's a tricky one to remember because B and D look similar, but remember my trick with the B? The uppercase B and the lowercase b are brothers. So the lowercase b goes like that. That's the B and that's the D. So the D starts with a magic C. And what letter comes after D and after C in the alphabet? I gave you the clue. What comes after C in the alphabet? D. So you start with the C, you helicopter up, and you go back down, and you make it into a D. C, then D. It's kind of a way to remember it. Okay, that's enough of our writing our D's. Let's get on drawing a picture of my dad. Now, what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to draw a picture of my dad with something that he liked to do in his spare time. He liked to go out and play this sport, and maybe your dads like to play this sport as well. Let me write the word dad at the top. D A D. Dad. Okay, so there's dad. Now, let me draw my dad, and I want you to figure out what he likes to do in his spare time. So remember my song, head, shoulders, knees and toes, head, shoulders, knees and toes, and eyes and ears and mouth and nose, head, shoulders, knees and toes. So remind yourself what we have to draw when we draw a person. Head. So let's draw my dad's head, and let's give him some ears, and let's give him a nose, and let's give him a smiley mouth. Now my dad has brown eyes and he has brown eyebrows and he also has brown hair. So that's a lot of brown. Brown eyes, brown eyebrows, and brown hair. So let's give him some brown hair. Yeah, that looks like my dad's hair. Okay, brown hair, brown eyes, and brown eyebrows. So there's my dad's head. So let's give him a neck because our neck joins us to our body. And when my dad plays this sport, he likes to wear a t-shirt because when he plays it, most of the time the weather is nice because it's outside. So let's give him an orange t-shirt. Make it a little longer. Okay, there are his shoulders. Let's give him the short sleeves for the t-shirt. Give him the neck. And give him the bottom of the t-shirt there. Okay, so let's give him some arms, because he can't play this game without arms. 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers and a thumb. Another arm and a thumb. 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers. Oh, that's a chubby little finger. Okay, so there are his arms and his fingers. So it's head, shoulders, knees. So we've got to make sure we give him some legs, don't we? So let's give him some legs. So he's wearing blue pants when he plays this game. That's one leg. And there's another leg. So he's wearing pants. You know what? I'm going to erase that because that doesn't look in the right place. Let's give him some pants there. That looks better. So he's wearing blue pants, and let's colour them in. Let's colour them in like this. One leg, two legs. Okay. There are his pants. Okay, so when he plays this game, my dad, he has to wear special shoes. So his shoes have special spikes in. I'm just going to put the cuffs of his pants on. His shoes have special spikes on, so I'm going to draw the shoes, because when he does this game, he has to be able to make sure he doesn't slip on the grass. So let me draw some shoes with some spikes on underneath. Special shoes. Now maybe you figured out what this game is already, because maybe your dad plays this as well. So there are his shoes with the special spikes on underneath. Okay, now when he plays this game, he has to carry something, and it's carried in a bag, a special bag. So I'm going to draw the bag, and maybe when I've drawn this, you guys are going to be able to figure it out. So here's the bag. It's long, and it's kind of thin, and it has a special strap so that he can carry it. Can you see that? And inside that special bag are the things that he uses to play the sport. It has a little pocket on here, and in that pocket he keeps little things called T's, because they look like the letter T, don't they? And also in that little bag, in that little pocket, he keeps little white balls, and they have little dimples on, and they're hard. So if you're hit by it, it hurts. So you don't want to get in the way. So you have little white balls and little things called T's that you balance the balls on when you actually need to hit them. Okay, and in this bag are special clubs. Now maybe you already figured out what it is that my dad likes to play. And maybe your dad likes to play it too. Okay, I'm going to draw. I'll draw one more, because you know what? He needs lots of them to play, because he needs to play lots of different shots. What do you think? Have you figured it out yet? He uses these to hit the white balls. Let me give you one more clue if you haven't figured it out already. He plays it outside, and it's on a special course. And on this course, there are holes where he has to hit the ball into. And they have numbers. I'm going to draw number 18. It has a flag. I'm going to draw the number 18 because that's the very last hole that he has to get the ball into. So there are 18. It takes a long time. And when he plays it outside, and there are lots and lots of trees. Sometimes there are lakes, because it makes it super tricky to hit the ball if there are lakes, right? Because otherwise the ball might go in it. Okay, there are the trees. Let's draw a little lake back here in the background. Maybe a river or something there. Have you figured it out yet? What do you think? He plays it when he's outside. Most of the time he plays it when the weather's good. You can play it when it's raining, but it's not as fun. What do you think? Begins with a G. G. Did you say golf? If you said golf, you're right. You're so smart. There's the hole where the golf ball has to go in, and these little golf tees are what you put the balls on sometimes when you have to hit the ball. And you have to practice a lot, and it takes a long time. It can sometimes take a whole day to play golf, to go around a whole golf course to the last green. That's number 18. So if you guess golf, you're right. Now remember, you're going to draw a picture of your dad doing something he likes to do, or if you wanted to, you could draw a picture of Dad and you doing something. Maybe you play soccer together, maybe you grill on the barbecue together, you help him cook, maybe you play baseball, maybe Dad likes to draw. Dads like to do all sorts of things. Or you could draw a picture of your dad, like I did, doing his job. Now, did you figure out what my dad did as a job? Did you figure it out? Did you figure out that he was a doctor? You're right, you're so smart. My dad was a doctor. That was his job when he was working. But I want you to draw a picture of your dad doing his job or doing something that he likes to do, doing something with you, the family, okay? So that's my dad playing golf. You drew your dad doing something he likes to do. And don't forget, you have to save it for the creative writing book and show Dad, because I'm sure he's going to love to see it, okay? So good job. Thanks for watching me draw my dad, and you have a go at it too, okay? I'm going to see you again soon. Bye.